First is measuring cups and spoons. Proportions are key for any baking recipe, so measuring cups and spoons are invaluable for amateur and professional bakers alike. Glass cups are great for reading liquid amounts, and metal spoons and cups are ideal for scooping and leveling dry ingredients. Digital scale. When it comes to dry ingredients, a digital scale is the most accurate way to measure. The amount of flour in 1 cup can actually vary by up to 30% depending on whether or not it's been sifted. How you actually get the flour into the measuring cup and how humid the air is that day. Precise measuring can make the difference between airy treats and heavy bricks. Sifter or strainer. Nothing is worse than biting into a slice of cake and getting a clump of flour or baking soda. Sifting can easily prevent that scenario. Bowls. It is best to use bowls made of glass or non-reactive metal, example is stainless steel. Plastic bowls can retain flavors that you might not want in your muffins, and they are also no good for melting chocolate or whisking egg yolks and sugar over a pot of simmering water. Pastry blender, sometimes referred to as a pastry cutter. This tool helps you to cut fat into dry ingredients to create flaky biscuits, scones, and pie crust. If you don't want to do the manual labor, the same result can also be achieved with a food processor. Silicone spatula are heat resistant, don't stain or absorb flavors, and are essential for gently mixing things such as cake batters, meringues, or whipped cream. They are also excellent for making omelets and scrambled eggs. Whisk is the best tool for truly combining just about everything. Use an all-purpose whisk to mix up brownie or muffin batter, or test your arm strength with an extra wide balloon whisk when making merengue or whipped cream. Electric or stand mixer. An electric mixer is sure to make your baking life much easier, especially when it comes to creaming butter or whipping cream. While they are expensive, stand mixers can be a great investment for your kitchen arsenal, making everything more kneading dough to whipping egg whites a breeze. Rolling pin can be made of wood, marble, metal, or silicone with or without handles and straight or tapered. These specifications are mostly a matter of preference, but a wooden dowel makes for a great all-around rolling pin. And remember, never soak wooden rolling pins in water. Instead, wipe with a damp cloth to clean. Bench or dough scraper is useful for getting any stuck on messes off your counter, but can also be used for portioning dough. They can be made of either metal or plastic, with plastic being great for getting the last bits of butter or dough out of a bowl. Mechanical scoops can be used for getting uniform cookies and perfectly portioning cupcake batter. The key is finding one that's comfortable for you to use, which can mean choosing between one that queries and requires a full hand squeeze and one that needs just the press of your thumb. Cookie and biscuit cutters. These come in all shapes and sizes, from the basic squares or stars to the more elaborate cars or dinosaurs. If so inclined, you can even start a collection with different shapes to be passed on to future generations along with the family recipes. But if you don't want the extra equipment, you can always just use a cap to make circles. Silicone baking mat is non-stick mats are a great alternative to parchment paper since they are reusable. A silicone baking mat is pretty much a necessity for baking dual cookies. It is great for all your other cookies too, and is also useful when placed under fruit pies to catch any spills during baking. Bakeware. Some introductory bakeware pieces you'll most likely want to have are ring baking sheets, a square baking dish, a pie pan, 2 round cake pans, and a 12-cup muffin tin. Most bakeware can be made of ceramic, glass, metal, or silicone. Ceramic tends to be more decorative, glass lets you see how brown your food is getting, metal is the best conductor of heating, and silicone takes away all of your worries about sticking. If you choose metal, look away for heavy pans without a dark coating, as these can brown baked goods too quickly. A non-stick finish usually isn't that necessary either, especially when the pan is greased and floured properly or a silicone mat is used. Always set a timer to save yourself from accidentally falling asleep and waking up to a smoke-filled kitchen. Baking times can vary depending on the precision with which you follow the recipe, the temperature of ingredients at the start, or the weather that day. It's a good idea to check items halfway through and rotate the bakeware for more even cooking. Set a timer for a few minutes before what the recipe calls for, just in case the food is ready early. Cake tester. Though a toothpick often does the job just fine, a metal cake tester has a few advantages when it comes to dough nest. First, it is reusable and cuts down on waste, and second, its length makes it easier to use with thick baked goods. Outside of baking, many professional cooks also use them for testing whether meat and fish are warmed through. Baking a rack is the preferred method. Let items such as cookies, muffins, and cakes cool for a few minutes in the pan before transferring to a rack to cool completely. The rack provides better air circulation to help speed up the chilling process and inhibit overcooking. Offset spatula. These are made of flexible stainless steel, come in range of sizes, and are used rounded at the end. Offset spatulas are great for frosting cakes or spreading butter in a jelly roll pan. A medium-length spatula with a comfortable grip is a good and good all-around choice. Piping bags and tips or pastry bags allow for greater control and more elaborate designs when decorating. Tips are available in an assortment of shapes and sizes for lines, stars, roses, and even basket weaving. You can let your imagination run wild. Pastry bags can be disposable or made of plastic-coated fabric. With the latter, it is important to wash and dry thoroughly between uses. Piping bags are also used for shaping eclair and cream puff dough. And lastly, the most important baking tool of all is your oven! Perhaps the most critical factor many home bakers ignore is making sure you are actually baking things at the temperature you think you are. An oven thermometer is a great gadget to prevent mischiefs caused by baking things at too low or high temperature. Another important aspect to remember is that rack position matters. The heat source can be at either the top or at the bottom of your oven, which can lead to hot and cold spots. So it is best to always bake on a rack placed in the middle, and if you are so lucky as to have a convection oven, this setting will help solve the problem of uneven cooking. But with convection cooking, be sure to either reduce the temperature by about 25 degrees Fahrenheit or